Released 14 years ago across 2 console generations, Rockstar's classic is finally accessible to PC players. Although the game made its way to major consoles last year, it's just now available on every platform. It's surprising it took this long, but as they say, better late than never. Let's dive into Red Dead Redemption for PC. Rockstar's decisions are often mysterious, especially since, after all this time, this is just a bare-bones port. It's an improvement over the initial console re-release, which was locked at 30 FPS, but don't expect a remake. There's no merging with Red Dead 2. This is simply the original 2010 version in higher resolution. While this might feel underwhelming, especially after the issues with the definitive GTA re-releases, this approach seems preferable. It's dated but functional, and that's more reassuring than a failed overhaul. Is it worth the $50 price tag? Not really. While this port is generally bug-free, the cost feels steep. As someone who's played the original countless times, I'm ready to go back to it. Even this month, because Red Dead Redemption remains an incredible experience, now playable at 144 FPS. This port, done by Double 11, a company known for porting games, feels like the PC release we could have had in 2010. Overall, it's a decent job, with a fair selection of graphic options. There's even DLSS support, though it's overkill for an older title. Red Dead Redemption might seem quaint now, but back in its heyday, it revolutionized the gaming world with detailed graphics and an immersive world. Rockstar might have created something even more ambitious in Red Dead 2, but this original release still represents a significant milestone. Much like GTA 4 paved the way for Rockstar's evolution. The game plays out as a gritty, revisionist western, akin to films like The Unforgiven or True Grit. John Marston, an old outlaw on a mission to bring down former gang members under pressure from federal agents, faces a world where the Old West is disappearing. From New Austin to war-torn Mexico, then the industrializing outskirts of Blackwater, Marston's journey is a poignant look at a vanishing era, filled with complex themes about change, forgiveness, and the passage of time. It's hard not to feel emotional by the game's end. Red Dead Redemption tackles difficult questions about our place in a changing world, delivering a story with memorable characters and performances. John Marston, in particular, stands out as a hardened yet thoughtful figure, an outlaw with depth. The performances and atmospheric score add so much, especially when the music swells at pivotal moments. On the technical side, the audio quality isn't flawless. The compressed dialogue from the original version is noticeable, which makes you wonder if Rockstar might someday use AI to enhance it. This would retain the original performances but improve audio clarity, which would be ideal. Visually, it's a product of its time. While some textures and details, especially in close-ups, can look rough, the cinematic quality of certain scenes still holds up. For a 14-year-old game, it's impressive, with lighting and composition that remain visually impactful. Some elements, like the horses, still look good compared to modern games. It may not be a polished remaster, but on an SSD, load times are quick, and it captures the essence of the Old West even after all these years. Let's talk visuals. On PC, the game's graphics were the only part where I noticed any real bugs. Occasionally, characters would stutter in place, or animations might glitch a bit, like this bartender in a saloon scene. It's noticeable, though I don't remember this in the original. With older games ported to modern PCs, issues often pop up when they start running at higher frame rates than intended. Playing at 144 FPS, I saw occasional moments when characters would move too fast or in a choppy way. It's a minor issue overall, and I didn't encounter any major stuttering. Not surprising, considering the game's age. Now, how's the gameplay holding up? If you're coming from Red Dead Redemption 2, the quick responsiveness here might feel jarring since Red Dead Redemption plays like a more straightforward game. It's simpler and leaner compared to the vast ambition of its sequel, but that's not a bad thing. This game has always been fast-paced and focused. John Marston's mission is clear, and he sticks to it, with any tangents still contributing to the goal of tracking down his old gang. The game's length is also manageable, about 18 hours if you stick to the story, which is probably why I've revisited this one so often. The side content is enjoyable without being overwhelming. There are mini games like Five Finger Filet or Texas Hold'em and satisfying bounty missions where you lasso and hogtie outlaws. You'll meet strangers with random requests, but they're usually quick and low stakes. Health regenerates on its own, and Deadeye functions without the upkeep the sequel requires, making it feel simpler and easier to focus on the story. If you're into the immersive detail of Red Dead Redemption 2, it might feel like apples and oranges, but it has a charm of its own. Visually, it's dated, but the game still surprises me with how well it holds up in some areas. Character models look solid for their time, and the cutscene composition is cinematic, showcasing Rockstar's expertise. Yes, some textures are low-res. John's clothing, for instance, looks pixelated up close, but the port didn't enhance much of that. Still, I like the simplicity and focus here. It's a tighter experience and arguably one of Rockstar's best-written scripts, loaded with foreshadowing, setting up the plot early on and paying off wonderfully by the end. Is the PC port perfect? Not quite. It's mostly unchanged, with just a few minor graphics options. The $50 price tag feels steep for a game that's barely been updated since its original release. On Steam, you don't even get a physical copy to justify the cost. My suggestion? Wait for a discount. It's worth every cent at a lower price. This game's been around for a while, so a sale is bound to happen eventually. What do you think? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you're not subscribed yet, consider it. We post new videos every day. Don't forget to enable notifications to stay updated. Thanks for watching.